Hello, friends. Welcome back to Splat World Series. We're going to be going up into Losers Round 2 here with PxG versus Utopia. I am Grace, and I'm joined by my ever so lovely commentator, SigDoKaRi. Hello.
Hello, we have, like you said, PxG and Utopia, some fantastic players and teams here. PxG, you know him, you love him, it's Gray, Jordan, you, and Goss. And Utopia, we've got Rubitan, Kiami, Niru, and Art. As I recall correctly, we're going to Humpback Pump Track for the first map of the series. It's going to be a pretty interesting start. Both these teams play a good amount of AoE weapons, and those are incredibly strong on this map. Can't wait to see what we've got going into it. Grace, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I really like Humpback Pump Track. I feel like it gets a bit of a bad rap, especially going from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3. But like you said, AoE is kind of king. I'm expecting to see a lot of weapons like that, like you already know. S-Blast, once again, king here. Decav as well, Slosher, expected. Both teams busting out a pencil, a Snipe Raider too, which makes a lot of sense here. But looking at the openings here, I feel like PxG really wants the zone. Makes sense for them here, but Utopia is not going to be willing to give it up to them. Art already getting a really good pick here onto Soldier. Trying to fight here, is going to be able to get another pick as well, but it looks like Utopia still has a pretty good firm hold on the zone here, but the members of PxG are coolered up and ready to go, so we'll probably be looking at some kind of a push from them soon.
And with you finding that pick onto, I believe that was Niru on the left-hand side, that's going to open up another opportunity for PxG with the player advantage to try and neutralize this zone, but Art immediately with another trade onto Gray. Goss is just trying to keep the zone capped on the splatter shot, but really isn't able to do much in the face of three other players of Utopia. Has the Trizuka, though, and the Booyah Bomb is up for PxG, so that we could see a pretty big play from either of those. Booyah Bomb and the Tactical are already popped. Niru's forced back. Gray's in. Doesn't quite find anything just yet, but Goss with the Trizuka is looking for a little bit more too. Kiami is able to find a pick into the zone, make that a second, and is just putting pressure on those strikes to move early as possible and keep Utopia in a pretty solid lead. And with those strikes, fantastic position to keep going here.
Yeah, like that was a really interesting kind of retake from Utopia. It felt like although PxG did push them out, they got that penalty on the board for Utopia. They were able to cap, but Utopia didn't really leave mid. Like, they still kind of had a bit of a presence near the zone, hence why they were able to get back in so much quicker here. I mean, the members of PxG, once again, they're getting back into the zone a little bit, but they are going down numbers. Kiami, once again, going for another hero play, maybe gonna get another double, not quite, does go down, but still, like I said, they, like, have control of the zone. I mean, Soldier's gonna pop these strikes, trying to get back in here, but Art ready to punish them for that, getting a huge pick onto them too, but not able to cinch up that pick on Goss. But like I said, again, they're down 2 numbers, but they still have this zone here.
Yeah, Rubytown especially has been doing a great job at holding down the fort so far, not really leaving that snipe, but you has been and has already found another pick, looking for that second one, doesn't quite find it, but a little bit of chip damage. Now looking to get a bit more aggressive on the right-hand side, while both the Slosher and the S-Blast for PxG just shark underneath that ledge, give as much space as possible for you. Already one player down on the side of Utopia, and PxG have a really solid hold here. Kiami also goes down, and they could end up grabbing lead here, Grace.
Yeah, and I really like the stagger that they have going on, and a wipe. Oof. If you're Utopia here, you really have to try to find out not just how to get the lead back, but how the heck am I going to get into the zone here? They have great positions right now. PxG, they're already like onto their plat. I mean, one of them did just drop down, so Commentators curse. But they still have presence on both sides of the maps here. The strikes coming out, counter strikes. They are going to be able to get a pick, though, onto PxG. They get the bubble out, and I mean, the S-Blast painting for dear life on the zone isn't quite able to keep it, but Utopia being able to get back into the zone here, pushing out the members of PxG very well. And I think that has to do with pushing them out of the positions they were in first, and then following up with their specials. Really smart and nicely done.
I mean, taking space before having to invest such a massive resource like your special is so vital, and we see a great job being done by Utopia about that. They have the zone again. They have no penalty left. There was a pick, 2 picks actually for PxG, and that's going to give them the zone, but they still have a ton of penalty to go through, and Utopia still have 1:40 left, so they can come back here pretty quickly. Art is already inside of the zone, has that big bubbler already, pops it immediately. Same thing with the tri-strikes coming through from Kiami. Gray is all on his lonesome in the bottom right, is forced to jump out thanks to the double suction bomb and just 3 players rotating. Art goes in looking for one, doesn't find anything, but somebody else on the other side of the map is able to find one onto Gray. Kiami forces Goss out into that suction bomb. Goss has to take some sort of one here, but a teammate is there to assist in just relieving that pressure. The rest of PxG, though, is on this top right and isn't really able to do much. They still haven't capped the zone, and Utopia is ticking down at the moment. Art is looking for one, trades with Goss, and that's going to give everybody the lead. It's just Gray left around the zone, and Niru and Kiami are able to clean that up. They have given themselves a massive fight win and a KO thanks to all that happening on the bottom left-hand side.
That's so interesting. I feel like something that's so nice about zones and why folks like it so much is that you don't really have to go super far in to try to successfully lock somebody out, especially your opponents. And if anything, that's the smarter thing to not do because then you risk kind of getting flanked around and then the objective comes right out from under your hands. But I mean, the members of PxG were fighting the right way. Like, they weren't bombarding the zone just trying to take it and then think about getting the sides back later. They weren't taking fights that weren't advantageous for them. Like, they were in these 2v1 situations here, but they still weren't able to get the upper hand. Like, I'm just thinking about that corner fight there. It was like dropping into like the Thunderdome. It was like everyone was just going down left and right, and that's so difficult. I feel like it could have just been a matter of being able to back up once you realize that you're not going to be able to win that fight, even when you're getting like cornered. But again, I think it's just those little micro decisions that really cost them the game there, because PxG was looking really strong towards the end.
They had a great mid game too. They're counter picking us to Mako Mart. Now, a much flatter map, really, still, again, really good for the double AoE that we see them run with the Slosher and the S-Blast. So, expecting to see a little bit more of that as we load into this second game. I can imagine that Goss brings back the splatter shot. That's something that we didn't really touch on. 2 splatter shots in this lobby, very different in terms of builds. I believe Niru is running Object Shredder. There it is, Object Shredder and LDE, while Goss is opting to run Charge Up and Stealth Jump for a little bit more aggression and a little bit higher output on the Trizuka. It worked out a couple times as we saw last game, but already Art is looking for one onto Gray, finds that pick. 2 players down on the side of PxG, and they don't have zone, but Jordan's able to find one onto Rubytan, and that might relieve a good amount of pressure from you to be able to just get control of that zone again, but no, not quite as great. Jumps in, trades with Niru. Jordan's still alive, trying to fight this Decapitator, but isn't able to come out on top, and Utopia still have control of this zone. They're nearly at 50 points here.
Yeah, yeesh. And I mean, just thinking about these comps again, I like what you said about the splatter shots and the different kind of playstyle that goes with your builds there, but I'm also thinking about both of these sloshers, both of these buckets. On Mako Mart as well, I mean, Humpback, you can say a million things about how crucial buckets are there, but on Mako Mart, it is all about the stacks all the time. And I mean, we talked about the AoE last game, we talked about S-Blast, but bucket as well. Kiami, oh my gosh, I was gonna say reverse Commentators curse, but then they went right down after I was about to pop off about them. But still, like, all of these edges, these ledges, like, you have to be able to play around them. And if you see somebody sharking there, you see Soldier sitting in that little patch of ink, you have to be wary about where you're coming in from. So seeing Utopia, they were able to retake the zone really nicely that last game there. They're already getting a pick there. So are they going to be able to get back into the zone here? Soldier, again, fighting for their life here on the left area. I mean, they're coolered up. The members here of Utopia are pushing back into the zone. And then the strikes, a bajillion strikes onto the zone. Art here with this amazing bubble, trying to pin down you, gets the pick, which is a really good trade out there for Utopia. That's a lot of paint and a lot of support that they're going to be missing here, trying to get back into the zone.
And Art immediately jumps into that big bubbler. It gets deleted instantly, but still gives enough space for the rest of Utopia to cap that zone a second time. Kiami's already on this left-hand side pressuring you, and also Gray goes down to Kiami. The Splat Bomb isn't able to find that trade either. Rubytan's getting super aggressive here on the right-hand side, the furthest player up on Utopia right now. Just playing inside the zone. Kiami again finds that pick onto the left-hand side. Has just been putting in work on that slosher around there, and now has the set of strikes to take back this lead. PxG are nowhere to be found. This is in danger of being another KO for Utopia here.
Yeah, like you said, nowhere to be found here. They took their time and were very, very patient in trying to get back into the zone here, but that might be their downfall. The Zuka's coming out. They weren't able to cap the zone quite yet here, and the members of Utopia are backed up, but it's a 2v2 for the zone. Make that a wipe for the members of Utopia. So PxG still here. That map looks crazy. That looks crazy.
So
they need to get
much
some
orange
paint on the ground here. But the members of Utopia, if we know them, which we know them here, they are not going to let the members of PxG rest to even be able to paint their sides because they're going to be aggressing them from the front here. The shot does go down. Every time I feel like I say anything, somebody goes down here, which is very, very funny. But the members of Utopia are coolered up. They want to get back into the zone here, but it's just a matter of when do they go in. Are they going to be able to combo off of these strikes? They do cap the zone, but they're not quite in just yet.
Those triple ink strikes are so good at immediately capping a smaller zone like on Mako Mart. And that immediately resets the penalty for PxG, gives Utopia a little bit more time to maybe look for a fight like this. Neru and Art fighting Goss, finds that pick with the Trizuka. Now Art's looking for something on the left-hand side, is able to just draw some attention from Jordan, gets onto the stack, pressures you again. Kiami able to clean that up, goes down, but here we go again. The strikes are coming through for PxG. They don't have control of the zone, and Gray has to at least back off, recover some HP before going back in. The rest of the team is able to help out, and Gray does find Art, but still in a very precarious situation, especially with that splatter shot on the flank. Ends up getting picked off, but now you have two players kind of out of position here, and Utopia, they have two specials for this retake yet again.
Yeah, and I mean, the Booyah bomb from behind. Oh, but the strike shreds Gray completely there. The Booyah still coming out here. But the members of Utopia still want to get into the zone. I can already see Kiami there, bottom left, trying to get you push them out. Which again, very, very smart move. That's their main paint supporter, that sniper. You want to be able to take them out here. And despite all of that, despite being able to hold their ground, despite them trying to take these strong positions, PxG gets wiped. Less than 30 seconds here. It's now or never, as the song would perhaps say. Going down numbers here, going down 2 numbers again, their sniper. It is zones, folks. It is so hard to get back in here. Goss, for dear life, trying to get these Zuka shots in. They're going to get taken out, though, from the left side there. That sniper, Soldier, with those strikes, are they going to be able to cap? But they're getting called out by Kiami, who strikes them instead there, and they're not going to be able to get into the zone in time. And that is the lead swap, and in those last few seconds, PxG not able to get back in there. So that's the win for Utopia, 2-0.
Really strong showing from Utopia. PxG had a couple of just shining moments there in the middle of the game. They got leads in both maps, but I mean, Utopia was just able to kind of play this super aggressive hold on both of them, where they played for a fight. They got all the picks that they wanted to, and especially like right here, when everybody just kind of made a mad dash. We see Rubitan rotate from this area on the left side over behind the stack to keep Goss out on that shot. That is like the primary way that people can paint. Like, look at this, immediately over there, and that's all your paint minus you gone essentially. And Utopia just played that hold wonderfully to end the game as well, with these strikes on top of PxG's.
Yeah, really smart. And Kiami, I feel like there must have been something there in the voice chat where they were like, y'all, I can spot the slosher. I spot Soldier down there in that corner. And in that moment, they knew that they had the upper hand. I mean, you were talking about they have the vantage point. They could shoot them down if they want to. And not even to mention the stagger that they put PxG through there. Really smart. Really well played by Utopia.
Excellent work. Utopia will be moving on. Who are they facing? Oh, don't know. But anyways, that will do it from us for this set. Have a good one. I don't know how do we cut to break here? I forgot. It's been...
Guys, look at our socials. They're going to be right under our cute little faces. Yes.
Yep, that's how.
Beautiful.